Hi, I'm Danny. This is the Night Vision Show. Also a member of Scott Country International Pro Staff Team. Welcome to the Night Vision Show. Good evening. So on the show today, we're taking a look at the brand new digital day and night vision rifle scope from HIC Micro, the ALPEX A50T. Essentially, before we get started, a couple of things to remember. We are live, so if you are putting things in comments, please be a member and be respectful of everyone else on the audience. Okay. So if you have got a question, please put it in the message bar. We'll filter through and we'll try and get to that as quickly as possible when we get breaks in the chat, and we should be able to deal with that and bring it up. There will be some prizes tonight. We'll cover that in detail. Robin Foxer will discuss that and cover that. If you did miss our last show a couple of months ago, we introduced HIC Micro as a brand, and the product line has primarily been thermals, scopes and spotters. However, that said, as we are here tonight, there's been a change, and they've got a new kid on the block. So, as I said, we're introducing tonight a new product, and it is the HIC Micro ALPEX A50T digital day and night scope. So let's have a look. So as we look at this brand new day and night vision scope from HIC Micro, the ALPEX A50T, I'll keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it, obviously to get it flowing out there and get it into your heads what's out. A couple of things I'd like to do before I get into the detail is introduce our guests for the evening. So we have Robin Foxer and Paul Childerley, and also we're joined by Paul from HIC Micro. So you will also notice that before we even go into more detail, it's obviously it's my first show tonight. I'm a bit shy, a bit coy, so please be gentle. And obviously you have to deal with my good looks as opposed to James's tonight. But let's move on before I get any more insults. So Paul from HIC Micro and the influencers, as you can see here, Paul Childerley and Robin Foxer have had the kit. And what I'd like to do before we go into some details is for Paul to give us an explanation of HIC Micro and their footprint in the UK and what they're all about, to be honest with you. So Paul Hodson, over to yourself.
Thanks very much, Danny. I'm Paul Hodson, Business Development Manager for HIC Micro UK and Ireland. I've been in the role from the beginning of April, and I've been taken on board by HIC Micro to engage more and more of our customers and our dealers with the HIC Micro products. My key role is to go out there and spread the word of HIC Micro in the UK. For those of you who don't know anything about HIC Micro, we are a subsidiary of HIC Vision. HIC Vision is our sister company. We're the world's largest CCTV company. We have over a £10 billion turnover. And the nice thing about HIC Micro being part of that team is that they invest over £1 billion every year into research and development. So all the technology that they learn from the CCTV side of things is really useful within our industry and within the making of spotters and scopes. And the research and development really does bring out the best of the products so that we can deliver to you guys, the end users, the best products that we possibly can at the end of the day. So that's basically my role, is to go out there, spread the word. I do a lot of dealer training. I travel the length and breadth of the country. I cover the UK and Ireland. I haven't been over to Ireland yet. I will get over there at some point. But yeah, that's my main role. And I'm here to help and assist in any way I can. HIC Micro are incredibly proud of what they've achieved in the last 3 or 4 years with the outdoor products, and they have come up with some, as you guys already know, some fantastic value for money products, where we don't think that because we do good value for money, we compromise on quality. So that's me. That's my role. Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think some of the things I've been impressed with is where they're trying to break new ground. So, for example, if I look at the Griffin, where you're merging IR and thermal. I mean, that's something when I did your open day that really took me by surprise, to be honest with you, because it's that whole thing. You're looking at something through the thermal, and you're 99.9% certain, but there's that ever a doubt. Being able to flick it at night vision and be able to see it.
To switch between the two, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think one of the things about HIC Micro, because obviously when people think about companies that are slightly outside, especially like China, I think the concern would be, for example, repair mechanisms and how would you, if you're getting something that's from China, how does it get repaired and all the rest of it? But I believe it's Rotherham, isn't it? So they've got a UK-based repair centre?
Nearly, mate. It's Doncaster.
Doncaster.
Yeah. So we've got four centres in the UK. We've got our main headquarters, which is fantastic state-of-the-art offices down in Uxbridge in West London. Brilliant. Fabulous facility. I went there yesterday to pick up our new demo van and was absolutely blown away with the way the guys have got that set up there with the technology that they're using down there. We've got a centre in Manchester, another one in Glasgow, and we've got our main, what we call our R&M, repair and maintenance centre in Doncaster, where we've got over 200 qualified engineers in the UK that are fully trained on all of the outdoor equipment that we use, the spotters, the thermal scopes, and of course the new ALPEX. So if there are any issues, everything is repaired in the UK, and we guarantee as a company that it will be returned to you if it was faulty within 14 days.
I was just about to say, that's a key thing when you think about
getting
sent away.
I'm a shooter, and I know how important it is for you guys who are buying these products to not be without them. So if there is an issue, I know what it's like. I've been in retail as well, and I've stood behind the counter when people have come into my shop and they've said, I need my unit as quickly as possibly as you can. And some units you get back and you take them and you've got no idea when they're going to be back in your hands. With us, with HIC Micro, with that repair and maintenance centre up in Doncaster, we can get it back to you within 14 days. That's our guarantee, which the units come with a 3-year warranty. The battery's got a 12-month warranty and a 10-year warranty on the sensors. So you're covered with all that as well. So we do carry a large stock of spares. So if there's anything that does really need repairing, the guys in Doncaster will be able to turn it around within 14 days.
Yeah, I think over the last 3 years, what life has taught us that if it's not within the UK bounds, then you're going to feel it.
Fundamentally,
especially the shooting industry. Yeah, absolutely.
100%, mate. 100%. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. If you want, shall we bring in Robin and Paul and have a quick chat with them? So Robin, Paul, if you could just explain to yourselves and the audience what it's like working for HIC Micro and what it's been like. Obviously, it's a new company on the block, and just some of the dealings.
Sure. Paul, would you like to go first?
That's very gracious of you.
Best dressed.
Come on, Paul.
Paul, you're on mute.
It's been a long day, mate.
Yeah, it has been a long day. Yeah, 2 long days. Worked with them since probably back, October, November time, and really great company to work with. The product, what I quite like with them, what they say happens. So if you say you're going to get a unit, the unit's there. If you get some spares or you need a repair, it's done and dusted. So for me, it's when you're busy and you've got a lot on, you don't need to be chasing things. So it's been a breeze for that side of it with me. And obviously the kit works, which is probably the most important thing when you're trying to run a business, when you're trying to do game shooting and the deer. So yeah, so far it's been very pleasurable. What about you, Robin?
Yeah, well, my experience. So I've been working with HIC for a little over a year now, and I can echo certainly 2 points there straight away. The first one being that the kit works. So I don't think it's any coincidence, but in that time, and I've used 5 or 6 units, I haven't had a failure. It's worked every time. The only thing I did, and it was my fault, and I didn't put the lens cap back on the Stella thermal scope, and I knocked it over on top of the Land Rover, and it snapped the lens cap off. And I, contacted Hike and said, "Oh, I've snapped my lens cap. Really sorry." And it arrived within a couple of days. And I know the lenses are quite expensive components, so I wanted to keep it covered up and stuff. It goes in and out the gun bag, it goes in the back of the Land Rover and gets battered about a bit. They'll take a knock. I've dropped the unit over off the bipod and stuff several times. They're sort of rugged. I've been out in the fog, real damp weather the other night when we were out. It was real picturesque. Foggy conditions, and it kind of cut through that. It's just brilliant. The kit just works, and like I know, Paul's got teams of people out on the estate, and I know that I'm relied upon quite a lot in terms of going out and getting stuff done, and having kit that when you take it out of the bag, you turn it on, and it's going to work. That's worth its weight in gold. So for me, that's its biggest plus point.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so I'm glad it's good to get out and make sure everyone in the audience understands about HIC Micro and obviously a bit more reputation about it and understand it. Go back to the actual why we're here tonight. Paul, if you want to give us a quick intro into the ALPEX. Thank you very much.
There we go. This is our new night vision from HIC Micro, the ALPEX. It's state of the art, and like I said earlier on, it's got all the technology that we use in our CCTV cameras, all the research and development that's gone into that has gone into this. So what you're basically getting is a stunning value for money night vision scope that is exceptional. The sensor is a 1920 by 1080. So the sensor is really, really very good in low light situations. And I think the guys who've probably tested Paul and Robin, you'll see how good it is in that twilight area. I was absolutely blown away with that. The good things about the scope, it's battery life. It's got 2 internal lithium-ion batteries that give up to 12 hours continuous use. It's also got a CR123 that actually fits in the top of that, gives you an extra running out. If you're out the house for 13 hours, then you've really upset the wife, I think. But that will give you more than enough time to go out and have a night shooting. And have a little bit in reserve. The other key features, as with all the things these days, people are asking for 30mm tubes. 30mm tubes fits on standard rings, which is absolutely ideal. Really easy functions on the scope itself. The on-off button is straightforward. So is a standby. It's a single press to stand by. The record and the camera button on the left-hand side. And you can turn from night vision to day mode by a simple press of the button. Access for the memory is always as easy as it is on the Stellas. It's just by hitting the jog wheel. That enters you into the menu where you can set the scope up for your own personal preferences and your own personal use. It's really easy. You come out of the menu and that jog wheel there, again, that's your zoom. It's a 3.5 zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
And inside the zoom, it goes 1 times, which is 3.5, 2 times, which is 7, and so on. So it goes 1, 2, and then up to 4 times zoom, which is just, it's very smooth. It just flows. It also has a built-in video recorder. It's got recoil activated recording, 64 gig inbuilt recorder. And I think I've covered all the bases there, unless you guys
picture in picture as well.
Picture in picture. It's got a choice of reticles, color choices, and different styles of reticles. And like
5 reticles, don't you?
Yeah, with all our
colors,
all our products, we don't rest on our laurels. We listen to the shooter, and if the shooter comes to me or the end user comes to me and wants to improve it in some way, I then pass that on to research and development, who then act upon that. And this is what we were saying about them being a proactive company. They listen to feedback. When the Stella came out, there was an issue with knocking the jog wheel, which was changing the reticle. I spoke to them straight away, and it was changing the next firmware update. It's instantaneous. You talk to the guys. It's not 3 months. It's not 6 months. It's within hours that they get these things sorted. That's the advantage of having the company the size of HIC Micro. behind the products.
Oh, brilliant.
So I think, did I cover the warranty? I've already covered the warranty, I think, which is 3-year warranty on the overall
12 months for battery, is that right?
12 months for battery, and then we've got 10-year on the sensor. So everything, a complete package. It comes with an IR, so it does come with its own IR, which is a nice little compact unit. I've been using it with several different IRs. It works really well with this IR, but I've had great success with PBIRs. I've used the L, the X, and the S, and it works perfectly with all of those. So yeah, I believe, Danny, you've used the Solaris?
No, I used the Wicked Lights.
Wicked Lights.
51 IR. It's a good segue there, because actually one of the first questions that I saw there is there was a question about XTIR have been tested on the ALPEX. So I think the only, there you go. There's a question there. I know I've used the Wicked Lights A51 IR to real good effect, and we'll see in a minute some of the footage. I was looking at fallow at 350 meters, full detail. Really good bit of kit. But have any used that, the IR lamp?
I've used it. Yeah, I used it. The stock IR light, and it was fine. I mean, to be fair though, I mean, I also went out with it in dark, and I could see roe deer sat down in the field 257 yards away. Didn't even need the IR light. You could tell that they were roe deer sat down. It was dark. This
is what I'm saying. The low light capability of it is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I would imagine, because I will eventually get it on the Fox-in rifle and stuff. I mean, it's still currently sat on the air rifle at the moment from my ratting trip, and I've got another one of those coming up. But I have seen a few people saying that you don't need a powerful IR light. If you go out with a laser IR, for example, it's probably going to be too bright. So, because
I think what I was finding with the laser, Robin, was if you have it on flood, absolutely fine, no problem at all.
Yeah.
It's
got a serious ability to be able to gather light and reproduce colour in really low light conditions. I mean, I filmed Stuart's natural reaction. I was in Scotland ratting a couple of weeks ago. I posted the first of the 2-part series of that last night on my channel, and I filmed Stuart's natural reaction to him looking through the scope, and it's quite a good one. And it was a genuine reaction. And he couldn't believe, because all of our phones and stuff, we were trying to record each other. It was just getting too dark to record. And then the scope looks like the sun's out. It's
crazy, isn't it?
It's really good.
Insane. Well, I forgot to mention was, sorry, Danny. Obviously, using the Hit Micro site app, everything is downloadable, and you can remotely control the unit from the app as well. So you can change
that answers a couple of questions here. Yeah, because Paul, because there's a couple of questions just coming asking about, can you download directly the video, etc. Can you run? Can you stream, etc. And also, for example, sound. You can turn on the sound. You can turn it off as well.
I turn it off because when I'm chasing things across the field, I breathe really heavily. The last thing you want to hear is me on video, heavy breathing.
Fair one. So I hope that answers the questions that are in the pile there. I'm just, before I go into more detail, I'm just going to run a short film through that we've done. And as you said earlier on, Robin, it's that ability to see, pick up light when literally there's none there. On the video, you'll see I use my my iPhone. It's an iPhone 13 Pro. I'm not picking it up. Look at me. But actually, the problem with it is it's too good. So it's got the 3 lenses and it draws in as much light. So it's a really effective camera. So what? Well, actually, I could see nothing. It was black. But yet this scope, as you said, Robin, picked up, and it was like a summer's day. So with that, then we'll go on. So we'll put this through, and then hopefully we've got some more context, and then we'll bring it back around and talk more about the scope with the 2 influencers. Okay.
Danny here from Scott Country International. They say a change is as good as a rest. So this week, I'll put the thermal away and not be shooting with a thermal on the beast. I have in fact been using the brand new Hit Micro ALPEX night vision scope with the Wicked Lights A51 IR lamp. Welcome to the Night Vision Show.
Hi, so
Just got the HIC Micro ALPEX out of the box, stuck it on my Stan Malika 243, and just bore sided it as you do, just to get like most night vision, like any scope really. Got it bore sided, went onto the target, 100 meters, 2 shots with which is some cheaper ammo I've got, and it was literally 6 inches to the right. I just made some adjustments, put my good ammo in my VMAX, put that in, I was on, and literally just to fine tune it a little bit more. So it took about 4 rounds of these, just chasing it in. Yeah, really good, really impressed. Nice feel, 30mm tube, which is what you want, and you know, the simplicity is what I really like about it. Your zoom here, as you can see, dialer in. Your on your top, your power on and off, simple. Record, and then your mode button, which switches it from day and night, or also you can, if it's just a click of it, it'll bring you picture in picture. So some really nice features straight away. Battery life lasts, yeah, I've tested that quite a bit, to be honest with you. And I've been really impressed with it at twilight. So I was out, you know, I'm literally, all I shoot is thermal. Majority of the time, well, 99% of the time I shoot thermal. So getting the night vision and getting onto it was a big ask from Scott Country, because I'm quite precious about my thermals. But I won't lie to you, I'm really impressed, especially at twilight. And that ability to see it, it's like day. It is literally like day. You're looking at the ground, and it is literally, when you look with your naked eye, it's dark, you can't see anything. You put your eye to the scope, and it is really vivid. It really pulls the colour out and gives you that definition. I'll be out tonight, well, because you know, it's one of those days, isn't it? It's got a day on the end of it, so it must be time to go out shooting, and get on the Charlies and see what we can do, and put it to its test. Anyway, stay tuned. This is Danny from Scott Country International, out. look forward to the night vision show, where we're going to be doing a big night of discussing this with some other influencers and pro staff. So anyway, this is Danny from Scott Country International, out.
I think the first thing to mention is, geez, I look rough. So a couple of things there, just to point out. I mentioned that those fallow deer, they were 350 meters away. I pinged them with the rangefinder, and that was a high power. But a lot of those roe were on low power on the IR lamp. So it just shows you, as you said earlier on, Rob, you don't need a lot of detail, a lot of light to bring it in. There was, everything was 100 meters plus. That Charlie that was running was 200 meters, and unfortunately, it's on a new perm where I've just started shooting the foxes on there, and they're all squeak shy. So it's literally, I put the call in their mouth, and they just run straight away. There's not even a second look. So I don't know if Robin, if you were up there beforehand.
There's not that many get to run from me, mate.
I know that. I'm only joking.
Not many.
Joking, pal. I'm only joking. Okay, so. That's the thing. Before we move on, just have a quick couple of questions we'll go through here. So there's one here I've got. Can I connect it to a Seiko S20? I think if that's just a simple question, it's a 30mm tube. At the end of the day, you can put it on. In fact, Paul, you use them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's the same body as the Stella. I haven't actually put it on an S20, but I put the Stella on an S20, and it fits like a glove. So yeah, 100%. Good matchup.
Fantastic. And I think there's a question here for Paul H. I think they were looking potentially as a rangefinder one as well. But I think when the fact that this is the launch of the initial one, you'll probably find it'll be a wee while before that. But if David Lynch, you are looking for a rangefinder and you want to look for the micro, they've got, there's a number there.
We've got the Griffins, we've got the rangefinder. But what I will say is we don't rest on our laurels. We are always progressing and always thinking of new products to bring out. So watch this space.
Brilliant. And Gary Middlebrook, I think we answered your question also. Downloading direct to tablet / thing. It's using the HIC Micro app. It's downloaded. It's on there. Yeah, absolutely, and it connects up. And so literally. You're straight into there.
One thing I did forget to mention, Danny, was the One Shot Zero with the freeze.
Yeah, I think we'll come on to that. I think with the guys that have shot it, we'll talk through that, because I think you didn't leave us much left, Paul, in all fairness, to talk about. All right, so I think if we go into Robin or Paul, either you want to take the lead on where you sit with it. I know that from my perspective, Robin, you hit the nail on the head about the ability that Twilight it literally hoovers in light, and it is in that video clip you saw, it was like an evening, a summer's evening, but yet literally it was black. Couldn't see anything, and that light really it does draw. So it's one hell of a sensor. Robin. Yeah,
I mean it's so I've had a full evening out with it from daylight through into evening, and I specifically wanted to see what it was like during that transition period. I don't, I'm not a deer stalker or anything like that, but I can only imagine that that's going to allow you to be able to see a lot further, for a lot longer than you otherwise would. In terms of the pest control stuff, which is it's my kind of remit. It was phenomenal, during the ratting session that I had in Scotland. And Sunday night, I'm going out rabbiting with it, so I'll be going straight to the HMR. And then in October, when the shoots start coming in thick and fast, then I shall put it on the Foxing rifle and go after some sort of longer range stuff with it. It's certainly a tool for all trades, I think. That's the one thing. It's quite apparent straight away. I did go down the farm just to have a look through it the other night, but it was raining, it was windy. So the fact that it's IPX 7 rated, because it's probably one thing that Paul didn't mention, actually. So it's kind of weatherproof, which is great for the UK, especially at this time of year, like I say, when it's foggy and it's wet. And even in those kind of horrible conditions, the wind coming in, the lens had loads of spots on it of water, yet you still had a nice clear picture. And to touch on what Paul said earlier about, in fact, at my work, all the CCTV around the yard, that's all actually Hike Vision stuff, which is the parent company of HIC Micro. So their years of development on high grade CCTV kit clearly has paid dividends, and it's they've used that knowledge. So they've now got kit that works for us in the field. Like I said, in really rainy and horrible conditions, I was still able to see those deer no problem, past shooting distance and stuff. The focus is nice and easy, but the buttons are really easy to reach around the user, and you get a feel for them after not long of using it at all. To be able to use it very effectively in the field, it's dead simple to use. Nobody likes bits of kit that are full of complicated menus and a million buttons and stuff. You don't need it. Certainly when you're out, if you want a tool for the job, and they've done it first time. I think. I just want to also raise a point on laser rangefinders and stuff as well, because I've had scopes with them in the past, and the thing is with a scope, typically or very typically speaking, you often past the point of needing a rangefinder when you go through to the scope to take the shot. The very vast majority of fox controllers and pest controllers alike will use a spotter of some kind nowadays. So I always at the moment use the Griffin. That's got the laser rangefinder in it, so I'll track the animal, ping it. Once I know it's within range or certainly coming close, then I'll go over to the scope to take the shot. So having the rangefinder or not having a rangefinder ability on it for me is not it's not required, because I've got it already to hand. So but yeah, it's super impressive. The clarity in day is great. The color reproduction is amazing. And then as you transition into night period, literally flick of a switch on the right hand side of the unit, you've got your day night into night mode. And the clarity continues. The refresh rate's good. It's nice and smooth. It's not jittery, which is as a content creator, that's also great, because it can capture some really good quality imagery, and then also the sound quality is good as well. So it's probably one of the better ones out there, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I think when you mentioned about the capturing images, because there's always that time where there's a shot, if something comes into vision, you haven't got time to hit record. That function where it auto records, it goes back.
Yes.
I mean, that's really, really smart. I don't know how it works, but that is really, really smart. I don't know if you've seen that, Robin, with yours.
Well, because I've only had it on the air rifle where there is no recoil, I've not had a chance to use it yet. But most definitely, you're dead right. Yeah, certainly when I stick it on the Foxim rifle, I shall click the activate, recoil activated recording, because like you said, you don't have to worry then about recording. It will just record it to the SSD inside the unit. That's another good thing. If you've not got a tiny little memory card that you have to worry about, did I put it in? Because I've done that on previous missions with different kit. Press record button only to be told there's no card in it because you've left it on the side at home. You haven't got to worry about it. And the 64 gig SSD in there will record a lot of footage, because up in Scotland we recorded a lot of rats.
Yeah, it was something that was, when I got back and I was like, I couldn't understand why there was another recording. And I looked and I realised it was a fox I was shooting, and it had obviously done the 7 seconds. It was really, really useful. Just before we go on there, Robin, there's two questions I want to pull in. First one, there was a question in from Mark Dinsley. It's Robin Fox, what's it like with the laser IR? I think you've answered that kind of. You've not really used it.
Yes, I've not tried it with a laser IR. I've spoken to one or two people that have messaged me about having got the unit already, and that have been out, and they have told me that they didn't need such a powerful IR, simply because the light gathering capabilities of the scope are such that it's just not needed. So you can get away with having a less powerful IR, or certainly one that you can turn down, because otherwise I guess the potential there is you could white out the picture.
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out, by the way, Simeon Brunstad. Good luck hunting. Obviously you're watching us live. I'll be on mute. Good to see. One thing here, Paul H, could you please, we've got a question here from Paul Stewart about the defog technology.
Defog technology, yeah. Defog technology is something we introduced. Obviously, it's come across from our CCTV side of the business. It analyzes the uncompressed video signal, pixel by pixel, Then the colours and the contrast and the sharpness and the opticals are all retouched to enhance the image, and it just makes everything a little bit clearer. And even, how can I put it? It's like clearing out a condensed soup. It's just like getting rid of all the noise. And that's how the technology works to create a clearer image in those misty and foggy conditions.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Just while we talk about images, so obviously the video that we showed earlier on was a lot of stuff's been pushed up to Facebook and it's been compressed. It doesn't give the clarity and the details like any of these scopes with the thermal IR. When you're looking through that aperture, it is crystal clear. It is crystal clear. I'll come to you, Paul, in 2 seconds. Okay. So Paul Childley, your thoughts?
Well, for me, basically, it's another new product. And when you're busy, you've got loads of stuff going on. You think, oh my God, I've got to learn another whole spectrum of software and manuals, and which I'm not the best at anyway. As I opened it up, it was the same format as a Stella, and it was like so easy to use, straight on the rifle. So yeah, that for me, that's probably one of the most important things, that it's so easy to use and something that you sort of like can, what's the word? It's like
Intuitive.
when you're out there, it's like, yeah, when you're out there and you got the pressure of getting a fox that's killing or something that's doing damage, you haven't got to think about it, and it's like it's almost like a natural piece of equipment to use. For me, I actually got the scope and I took it up with the lads. Obviously got Sam who works for me as a gamekeeper, and I got another lad that comes and does a lot of foxing for me. He's ex para, and so it's either do I give it to Sam, who's a classic gamekeeper, he will throw it around, cover it in mud, and destroy it, or do I give it to the basically the engineer that will take it apart? It's very similar to Robin, very knowledgeable, very like in every detail. He will. So I ended up giving it to Joe, who actually is very good at that side of it. He's come up with some really good feedback. Actually, he's so impressed with it, and being an ex-para, he's seen some equipment. He's been gifted in the equipment side, and he just said it's fantastic. For me, the biggest thing for me was, like I say, Twilight. Easy to use, then Twilight probably for me. So I do like my. Trouble is, I've gone to the Stella now, and I'm struggling to come off the Stella. That's the problem I've got.
I'm just the same. In fact, the doorbell, the gamekeeper's here now. He's come early to get, probably because he wants a free coffee. But I am genuinely reluctant to take that Stella off that foxing rifle, just because it is bang on every time. But I will do it, but I just don't want to.
Just get another rifle.
I literally,
Paul's hit the nail on the head there. That putting it on the rifle, just knowing how to use, dead easy to use, and it working. It's just, especially when you're giving it to, like I say, you're giving it to your foxing guy, and it's just a tool that's required, and it's so easy to use. For me, like that long battery life and putting it in and off standby, which takes a nanosecond, literally click in standby, click, and it's ready to go, is brilliant. The picture in picture is invaluable as well. It was really handy when ratting, because you don't need to be messing around zooming in and out all the time, and because it's quite well zoomed in on that picture in picture and it's nice and clear. Then I'm going to assume it's going to be the same when we go out after the bigger stuff as well. So I shall find out on Sunday for sure. But I'm keen to get out with it again, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple of things here to address in the comments. So Stuart Blair is looking through. You couldn't believe the quality. Absolutely. It's that for me. It's that interim period where you want to use. If you're out in a fallow or something that comes out at the last light, and you absolutely, Rose, not too bad, but fallows, have come out right at the last minute, obviously within the hour of sunset, and it's all there and it's all ethical. But actually, that ability to see it properly, if you're shot placement, without having to use a thermal, which would cost you X amount of thousand,
I literally, I couldn't believe what I was able to see with that scope. So for anyone that's kind of land management and you're looking at forestry or whatever it is where you got low light conditions, which at the end of the day that's what it's designed for. Like when you read the spec, it's all about that, low light hunting. To me, it is literally it is amazing in that perspective. And I just want to address one last question from Mark Dinsley about pulsar stuff with the IR being quite fuzzy. We mentioned it earlier on about flooding. What I've noticed, because I used to use the N450 pulsar. Obviously, it's an older version. You used to get the wide out, etc. I had the IR on from low and then put it up to high. I didn't get wide out, apart from obviously when I hit a bit of hedgerow or something, or a bit of flashback because I'm a bit rusty because I'm lazy because I use thermal all the time. Getting myself in between a hedgerow, thinking, I can just shoot this fox, and getting wide out because you're surrounded by hedgerow. So in answer to the question about IR lamp, from what I've seen, and it's only from using that Wicked Lights A51 IR, there was absolutely no flashback. In the video, if you look back at the video, which is available on YouTube, you will be able to see that there's a bit of spotting on the ground where the lamp is, but it's not white now. It's just literally a bit more condensed in an area, and it picks up the quarry really easily. Gotcha. Okay. So just a couple of things then that's, when we talk about pricing, now I think this is something that's, I was quite surprised, to be honest with you. There's obviously other brands out there. I've got their day-night scopes, but the price that they've come in with, I mean, it's RRP of 85999, which I thought was very reasonable, but Scott Country International, Optic Warehouse, and other retailers, you're looking at 7999. So for under £800, you've got for me, for £800, I'll ask you, Robin, because obviously you're a northerner, and money's a bit more important up north. For me, that literally is. This will be my last show, I'm sure, as well. Shut the guess.
Yeah.
But
well,
no,
I class myself as more Midlands, but
what for a gap, apparently.
I'm I only squeak a little bit when I walk, So it's I think again the price point for it, and I've been lucky enough to, I suppose, been loaned quite a few units over the years, and at its price point, I genuinely don't think you'll find another scope out there that will give you the same result. So that's not me blowing smoke up Hype Micro's backside. Genuinely, they have told me to say it as it is, and certainly those that know me best know that I don't tend to mince my words too much. I have to be a little bit careful, of course. There's probably some minors watching, but it is, for the money, you'll seriously struggle to find a better product. It's something that I would implicitly put my trust in anyway, to go out and get the job done.
Yeah, when you think of a 30mm tube scope for under £800, I know some people probably want to improve their IR functionality and increase that, but actually most people are going to be swapping, probably have an IR scope, a lamp, that they're going to use anyway. That's a go-to de facto one. I don't know what you use, Robin. You use.
Well, I've used what I consider to be a pretty cheap IR, and I've used a load. I've got a shelf full of them in the garage, and I've got some of the most common, quite expensive laser ones as well. The one my go-to IR is it's less than £80, and it's the cleanest LED IR pill I've seen. And what I mean by cleanest is when you look at a night vision image through a scope, if you've got a very powerful one and you zoom it right in, you can see the kind of pattern almost of the IR pill, can't you, on there?
Yeah.
So this Ode Pro KL52 it is, which I think they're in the Amazon shop at the moment for a little over £70. It's just one of the cleanest beams. So typically if you zoom either quite far in or out, you can't see any bits on your lens. It's a lovely clean image. So again, as a content creator, and it's the IR torch I used when I went to Scotland. It's just gives you a perfect kind of sight picture. I then also used it in the rain and looked at animals 100 out to 250 yards. Again, nice, clean. Didn't need to zoom it in because it gathered all the light from the throw that it had. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. If you've got a scope that's seriously capable, and you've got and that's not going to cost you a fortune. The good news is it comes with an IR. Well, a lot of them do, don't they? I don't know whether they're going to. Well, a bit. I don't know. I don't know if they're stopping producing it with an IR.
No, it's coming with IR. It's still coming with IR. Yeah, absolutely.
So they're coming with the IR. But if you feel that you need to go more powerful, the good news is you don't need to go high end. Because
that's common. That's common across all IRs. Absolutely, it gives you an intro standard. Paul, have you got any IR lamps that you particularly use that you've used across the bits and pieces that you find work with this?
Not really, to be fair. I mean, like say Robin said, it's a lot of this stuff's not just about the cost of it. It's about what's sort of like efficient and usable. The one that comes with the ALPEX, it's like it's obviously not that powerful, but it just seems to just do the job perfect. You had a bit bigger, more of a powerful one than you, Robin. It's what you do.
Yeah, it was slightly more powerful.
No,
yeah.
so I use
it was still illuminating animals at 250 plus yards, which is more than I would typically shoot anything at night anyway. So
see the thing for me, it's just that's, I don't want to like go off the subject that we're on really. That's why I do like the thermal, because you haven't got that extra unit on your scope and that extra bulkiness. And
But going back onto that though, yeah, absolutely. If you shoot an IR and that's something you want to look at, then I think what you get with the pack, it gets you in there, gets you started, especially small game all the way up. Once you start pushing, I reckon when I looked at it, when you're pushing out past 150, it's, if you're looking detection, not so much shooting, even just the detection looking like that. Those fallow I was watching at 350. If you want to really enhance what you've got, take the scope and actually get the best from it, because you've paid the money for such a good scope, and a bit more power to that lamp would give you that better detail. Paul. Okay,
sorry,
gentlemen. I think looking at the question, I think I think what we do need to get on to is obviously we mentioned about giveaway and freebies, and Robin, do you want to mention the giveaway?
Yeah. So. Well, I've got a question actually, so you can tell this is live because we don't know exactly what's going on. Are we opening this up? Is it to everybody on? Because I've noticed we've got some people from Norway and other countries. So hello to everybody watching around the world. But is this UK only, or are we opening it up to all? I mean, I don't mind. It's me that's got to send it out.
I think it's more postage as opposed to thing there. But
yeah. Well, I'm told if I send it, they'll reimburse me. So,
and I think we'll go with what we've got.
Let's go global. Okay. So, I've mentioned it once or twice on purpose, not just to get the views up, but also because it forms the question. So we've got some hike goodies essentially. So we've got a really nice cap. We've got a book. We've got T-shirts, jackets, and some. I'm sure I can find some other stuff to throw in as well. So I gave the ALPEX his first outing in a video I posted yesterday, and all I need to do is people to comment in the comment section on this video is to where did I go. Don't need to need a specific location, but I went somewhere other than where I live to go and give the ALPEX its first outing. Do we need them to hashtag it? Hashtag and then the answer so we can find them easy.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so if you put a hashtag and then the answer of the place I went with the ALPEX for its first real test, then we will pick a winner and I will get in contact. We'll get in contact with you and we'll arrange to send you out some goodies. Now, the goodies I've got here sitting on my table, they're quite big, so I'll also need to know what size you are, so we send you the relevant size as well. So once I've picked that winner, we'll find out what size you are. And we'll get you some stuff sent out.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, just while people are filling that through, we'll give it, we'll just have a quick wash up and go around the things. So if you were to bring out one point that you felt that this scope brings, and it's one of the best points, Paul H., we'll start with yourself.
Reliability, price point, and UK-based repair and maintenance.
All right,
Simple.
let's have 3. Okay.
There's too many. There's just too many.
Maths isn't a strong point. Okay, no drama.
No, there's just too many, Danny.
Paul.
Easy to use, Twilight, and foolproof.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well,
Nice, mate.
And Robin.
I was trying to think of something original there that the others hadn't already picked. I'm just going to tell it as it is. So it's super easy to use. The reproduction in both day and night is phenomenal, and I think it's just quality. That's it.
I think I'll go for.
We didn't pick up on one thing in terms of practical as well, because the turrets that it's got, for the battery and the menus, those are really nice and shallow. So when you put it in the cabinet, you've not got a bulk mass or anything like that you have with some other day scopes, and you haven't got stupid turrets that sit about 3 inches tall. So when you put it in the cabinet, it will go flush to the back of the cabinet rather than sticking out and stuff as well. So the actual design of the scope itself, the profile of it, lends itself to being quite pragmatic in terms of storage and putting it in gun bags and stuff.
Gotcha. Yep. So for me, Twilight mode, battery. I literally tried to run it down, which is why I looked like I looked a bit rough in that video. And I think also the zoom function, that dial. Literally, you spin it once and it goes out to 7 times mag, and then spin it again, goes out to 14 times. But it kind of grades in, doesn't it? So it's a real smooth blend into the image. And then when you want to bring it back, you flick it once and it brings you straight back to your base mag.
Just flick it and it comes back.
So you're back to your field of view. So you can go into your quarry, shoot, and then flick it back, and then you've got your full field, so you can see the reaction of the animal, etc., and all the rest of it. No, brilliant. Well, gentlemen, we've gone through the script. I've got the batteries here. I've got the detail here. Just reiterate, the retailers here, there's plenty out there. Scott Country International Optics Warehouse, they have got it down for $799. So get your orders in, get on there, have a look around. Like always, please, if anyone got any questions, feed it into the companies. We're always here to help. And likewise, when you do get your scope, the best thing about going to these reputable companies is you'll get the online support from the pro staff, like myself or any of the other guys that assist with the retailers.
I'm quite happy to answer any questions as well through any of the social media platforms. I'll get some more experience with it and videos that will be out, showing the capabilities as well. So if anyone has any questions, Paul H, extremely knowledgeable. So this is my go-to guy if I get a question from somebody that I don't know. So actually, bypass me. Just ask Paul. I'm only joking.
I'm
only joking. You can
if you need me, mate, I'm here.
Ask away.
Okay, so competition result time then. So Robin, have you seen the winner? Oh, in fact, hold on. Here we go. They're all coming up now. They're all coming in.
Do we just need to pick one? Is that what we're going to do? Random?
Yeah, random pick generator.
Should I just ask someone, my partner or little one, to come in and pick someone? We don't have any of these. I'll do that. We'll do it live right now. Is Emma there?
Yeah.
Just tell her to come here quick. Mrs. is keeping the gamekeeper entertained. Ooh, that sounds wrong. Right. See these names here?
Right.
Need to pick one. Just pick a name here. See all these people that said Scotland?
No.
That one?
Yeah.
Will L. Lomas.
Yeah.
Will J. Lomas, beg pardon.
I think we all knew that was coming. It's standing out like a flag there. That's it. Will J. Lomas.
Union flag. Yeah, well done. All right, that's it. Off you go. Bedtime.
So, Will, if you can please drop your details, if you DM them across to us and Robin, and we'll get that stuff sent out to you. I'm just going to check the chat and the comments that I've got nothing else on me, but it's my first night. Didn't
he do well?
He did do well, didn't he? Yeah. Well done, mate.
tell you what, they're going to struggle to get someone as good looking as me to fulfill this role again. I tell you.
No, I don't think they are.
Face for radio. Okay. No dramas, gentlemen. Robin, Paul Childerley, Paul Hudson, thank you so much for today and this evening for your time. It's been
Pleasure.
great. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the Night Vision Show live. Stay tuned and keep your ears peeled. Sorry for the next show. Thanks for watching. This is Danny from the Night Vision Show and Scott Country National. Out.